G'day, I'm Evan and welcome to Gamey. Joining me on the show this week, it's Bec Petraitis.
Hi.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I like the silent wave.
Also on the show, Naomi Higgins. And Dave Callan.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome back to the show, Dave.
Thank you. It's
been too
lovely
long.
to be back. Yeah, I went away on a journey.
An
Where'd you
adventure.
go?
Adelaide.
Oh, ooh la la.
I was going to ask if it was a journey like of self-discovery, and I feel like that's what Adelaide does that to you sometimes if you go.
Yeah, definitely. I think any challenging circumstance is an opportunity to unveil new things about yourself.
What did you learn?
I learned don't eat too soon before a gig.
Oh yeah.
Because Adelaide has lovely food, and you're supposed to have it after the gig. Because if you have it before, you're all like, bleh.
Yeah. Especially it's such an active show.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, jumping around.
I thought you would have a more intense story about how you ate a bad burrito and then you were trying to do like a high kick.
Oh, yeah.
No, you're just a bit full.
Yeah. It's a bit
That's
messy.
crazy. What a journey. Thank goodness you returned in one piece.
This week on the show, we're going to take a look at Yoshi's Crafted World and Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. But first, what do you think of this? Kotaku asked Pornhub for some stats on the top gaming-related porn searches for the year, with Apex Legends coming out on top, if you know what I mean. 2.3 million searches, followed by Resident Evil and then Kingdom Hearts, and then Devil May Cry.
What? Who's what?
So,
Who's the one that everyone's mad that he's gay? I mean, not everyone. There's a character and people were
from
boy.
what?
I can't remember what
Dumbledore.
game, but they were like really mad because the character. They revealed that the character was gay, and everyone was like, "I can't relate to this character anymore."
Oh my goodness.
And you should listen
that?
to this. I was just wondering if it's one of them.
Was it
Patrick,
Dante from
you know.
Devil May
Patrick
Cry?
doesn't know.
is he gay? I don't know.
It might have been, but
Leon
it was just
Kennedy?
very funny because they were some people were very upset. They're like, I can't relate to gay man, and now I'm playing as gay man. Am I gay? Not really related, but there's a gay guy in Apex Legends.
Right. Well, maybe that's... this is...
That's why I thought of it.
Apex Legends is just not the game that I thought would be high on the list of...
Can I also
porn
I don't know, what's that
searching.
girl? What does she do? She's pretty. What's the one?
Well, there's actually...
the one I'm talking
They
about?
said which characters were the top characters.
I bet it's her. What does she do? I think she's a healer.
Wraith?
No, Lifeline is the one you're
Lifeline.
thinking of.
Lifeline.
That's number 2.
I'm trying to work out why Pathfinder would be in the top 4.
What's Pathfinder?
He's a robot.
Oh, what?
In Apex
In
Legends.
Evan, people,
That is so funny.
how dare you king shame people while fuck robots?
Is he a sexy
fine.
I feel like they need to run the numbers again. This just seems
Not
not quite right.
Crunch those numbers, man. Crunch them again.
Put
Like,
them through the
What's your
Pathfinder robot.
Which numbers? Which numbers?
I don't understand how Apex Legends can be higher than Resident Evil.
Wait a minute, why is Resident Evil on the list at all? Like,
Because-
sure, who
because-
watches Resident Evil, plays it and goes, wow, it's fapping time. That was some sexy stuff, that zombie's head exploding.
But
Is
like,
there tits?
Necrophilia?
I assume there's tits in all these games. Am I right?
there's there'd be tits in all these games, yes.
Let's have a look.
Do you have any stats on the tits in the games?
No, we don't have any stats on that one.
Well, do your job, Evan.
Yeah, be the Molly Meldrum of tits in games.
We've already talked on the show about how Leon Kennedy was pretty hot in Resident Evil 2.
Oh yeah.
But you know,
Does he get a mention here?
yeah, he's number 3
Well, that
on the
just
Resident Evil one.
that just
after
makes
Claire
sense.
Redfield and Ada Wong.
and who? Oh, other girl.
But do we have stats on the breakdown of the target audience of Pornhub? Because I feel like then if you looked at what, they'd be interested in, I feel like maybe it's not the same as the people who are looking for Leon porn. The Leon porn people are on DeviantArt. Like they
Yeah.
had their own
Probably.
website.
Or on Twitter.
They're on wherever people went after Tumblr banned porn.
Yeah.
Where
Where are they?
Yeah.
8chan. No.
Yeah. Well,
What I also couldn't understand is
is
how
why you've made this into a story and put it in Gamey Game. I agree, Evan.
I can't understand why Metro Exodus is even on the list.
Oh yeah,
What's
what the
Metro
hell?
Exodus?
We
That's
talked
the
about this on the
shitty
show.
boy.
This is
I don't remember
post-apocalyptic Russia. It's
Let me Google it.
It's set in a radioactive, icy underground.
Yeah, it's not a sexy game.
But
I like my porn cold, underground, post-apocalyptic, and Russian.
Well, that could be sexy.
Yeah.
You're underground.
you're
You're cold. You got to warm up somehow.
But like 250,000 searches.
Surely that's
Yeah.
just boredom. That's not horniness. That's like, wonder if someone's made this fucking robot
Maybe.
porn.
But if you're alone after the apocalypse, you know, that's kind of a romantic situation for sex. Having banging on some nuclear waste.
I mean, if you like them. If you don't, then that would suck ass. If it's just you and some other person and you're stuck underground and they're like, let's, and you're like, I'm busy. I don't want a relationship right now because of the apocalypse.
But society has ended. How can you be busy?
I have,
would say.
I took up knitting.
I've got a 10:15 and I've got an 11:30.
I think there is a market for video game porn. Like
Absolutely.
we've talked on this show a lot about like Senran Kagura and like all these like Leisure Suit Larry games that are like sexy games.
Everyone plays Leisure Suit Larry for the sexiness of it.
But that's the thing, they're not like I think you could do like fan fiction-esque porn parodies of video games, and they probably definitely exist. But I just feel like should a AAA title also come with a XXX like edition?
Because 600,000
'Cause I-
searches, yeah?
That's-
For Devil May Cry.
And that's just money just
Really?
sitting there ready to be made for.
Yeah.
A lot of tits in
That's
that
more
game.
than the people that
Wow.
watch this show.
A lot of tits.
So are you saying that they should make like an X-rated version of the core game, or are you saying that each of the games should come with a porn version as well?
Yeah. A game or a video?
Maybe, you know how like in a special edition you might get the soundtrack sometimes? Like that, but you just get like a real crook porn DVD.
I'm going to disagree. That's just my gut telling me it's saying no.
I don't think I've heard the term real crook porn since high school. That's awesome, Bec.
On Friday, the adorable Yoshi's Crafted World was released for the Switch. It takes the warm, fuzzy aesthetic we saw in Yoshi's Woolly World and puts it into a beautifully handcrafted, semi-3D environment of construction paper, twine, and cardboard. Let's take a look at the trailer. That was a look at the trailer for Yoshi's Crafted World.
Hold on a second, I've got to get through all these porn stats. And find out.
Yeah, we can
Page.
finally get rid of these pages and pages of
You
porn
usually do
stats.
one page on the first story, and you literally have 4 pages of just porn.
Well, there's so many graphs.
Porn
Evan
graphs.
said,
Which are all
print
very
out all the
phallic, by the
porn,
way.
I
and
wanted
then
all the
I
graphs.
accidentally printed even more than I was. Anyway, doesn't matter. All right,
It's a lot of graphs.
baby game.
Oh, I feel clean.
Baby game. Is this a game for babies, Yoshi?
Well,
It's a kid's game, right?
so there's a dog called Poochie, and you were like, Naomi, do you have your mic on? And I was like, no, I was a bit engrossed in the game just now. And then
Yeah.
I sat on Poochie's back, and I put it down, and I put my mic on, and I came back, and I was like 3/4 of the way through the level. He just runs. He kills all their enemies, and he...
So Poochie's like autopilot.
Yeah, I suppose.
You just jump on Poochie and he'll play the game for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow, that's Tarzo's under the desk. Have we seen Tarzo at all in the show?
No.
He's hiding.
But Tarzo,
If you could see under this
Shy.
desk.
but
Tarzo's
Tarzo's
there.
like, I feel like he's the Poochie of this show. He keeps us all going.
Well, I mean,
secretly.
he's not helpful at all. If anything, he's a bit of a hindrance. And
Yeah, I think that's...
almost choked himself on some cords last week.
But he's cute.
Come on.
cute.
I think we should refer to Dave Callan, since you're the Game for Babies expert.
What?
I feel like you have a good judge of
Thank you.
Of whether games are for babies or not.
yeah.
Thank you very much. So my opinion is that you can choose one of two difficulty settings at the start. So you can choose it's not called a hardcore mode.
Extreme.
It'd be great if there was.
Whatever the Nintendo equivalent is, and then like a casual mode. And then within the game itself, the levels are fairly easy to get through and complete. A little bit of challenge. But if you're like an adult or an advanced gamer, you can collect all of the things. So you can get all the red coins and all the gold coins.
Yeah, there's a lot of challenges, right? Like the levels themselves aren't that hard, but if you really want to 100% the game,
Yeah.
Lot of collectibles.
takes a bit of skill or at least a bit of time.
Hey.
So it's
A
got
lot
the-
of time.
Yeah, so it's got that kind of built-in difficulty levels within the same tapestry.
You get to decide for yourself.
I think it's also just it's just nice. You know, I
Yeah.
think something's just nice.
Yeah.
It's been like I feel like since 2016, it's been not nice. So like it's just nice when something's like oh, good. Like there's no like suddenly there's like no one. It's not Shy Guy hasn't been revealed to be a Nazi yet, and that's great.
Well,
and I think we should.
Why won't he show his face?
Yeah,
That's
I
my
feel like there's
question.
something going on there.
But it's the textures are nice. It's so good.
But it is a really nice aesthetic.
It's a game that I just want to get in there.
It was like Woolly's World was
Yeah.
similar. It's from the same developers as Yoshi's Woolly World. It's
And I feel like I'm
really nice
maybe
aesthetic.
the only person in the world, maybe, who clocked Yoshi's Woolly World because it was on Wii U. And I think I mostly bought the Wii U to play Yoshi's Woolly World.
and you bought the
Wow.
Yoshi, the Woolly Yoshi.
I've literally never heard of Yoshi's Woolly World.
Really?
That's the thing. It was a sleeper failure.
As the porn parody is called Yoshi's Woolly World. That was a callback to the last segment. Thank you. The aesthetic, was it the same in Yoshi's Woolly World? Did it have the cardboard and everything?
Well, because it was less crafted. It was all wool.
Yeah, that was all yarn.
And I feel
stuff.
like in this one, Yoshi is like a felt. What is he? Like a felty. I'm kind of sad that they haven't come out with like a cute, more update. I want more.
Well, they
I
probably
want
will.
more. I have
Or
4.
you want more merch?
Beck,
I
if
need
you
more.
have to stop fucking buying things.
Oh God, I'm
Yeah,
not.
fuck.
I don't even know, Evan, I don't know how you deal with it. Because if that much shit was in my house, like Mark has little Star Wars action figures, I'm like, this would look really great behind the fridge.
In
And that's how.
As is,
Fucking
it's
hell.
contained mostly to a shelving sort of
I put it in a glass
Shelve it.
cabinet.
cupboard.
It's in a glass cabinet, like as you would porcelain.
Yeah.
No, I feel like you have too
Yeah.
much stuff.
It's all
It
shoved
wouldn't
in
all
there.
fit
Nah,
in one
There's at
cabinet.
least 3 shelves of
There's
stuff.
more than that.
Yeah, well, there is.
I don't think Evan looks at anything. I think he like.
If I was him, I wouldn't either. I would just. Have you seen that episode of Black Mirror where they put the chip in the girl's head and it just blurs
Yeah.
it? That's what I would do with
Okay.
gaming paraphernalia.
This seems like quite a stark difference to Sekiro, which is the other game we'll be talking about today.
Fucking hell.
Oh my
Technically,
God.
they're the
Evan,
same game.
observation.
I didn't die at all while playing Yoshi.
Can you?
I don't think you can.
You can, but you don't like die. Like you fall off a thing.
And then
Alright.
you just reappear.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
not a
I managed to do
roguelike.
that.
But I think that's kind of good because I think that adds to just the overall niceness of it. Like there's not, you
It's
know,
hard to stuff it up.
yeah. And I think every Yoshi game that comes out, it's the same sort of formula, but this is done really well. Like that's the other thing. Like it's hard to fault it because it has a goal. It's do a nice thing that's kind of fun, puzzly, collectathon,
Yeah.
Yes.
and it achieves it every time. So it's hard to go. Oh, you've done. Oh, to repeat.
The 3D element of this is kind of a bit interesting and
What
different.
letter did you say?
3D?
Oh, I thought you said 3E. I thought there was another dimension.
No, I just
Was
didn't
an E?
enunciate properly.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's actually 2.5D.
Oh.
Well, I mean,
what does that even mean?
Well,
It's kind of on a 2D plane, but you can kind of go up a path to another 2D plane. So that's probably where the point.
And you can go
Right.
behind it.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, the flip side. So you can, so you can play the other side of a level, like literally the
Yeah.
back side of the level.
Haha.
Like the ass.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
ass of the level.
But that's like a time trial sort of version of that level.
Oh, yeah.
Is that-
I also love the idea of the developers. I know they probably came into it and they were like, let's do this in the offset, but just someone coming in and going, okay, so you've made the level. We're thinking maybe you also make the back of it. Like, it's so much, like, there's so much work there. Like, it's just like, I already did it the front way. Now you want me to do it back way? Okay.
I mean, it's still a bit easier than like Mario Odyssey. We have to make it every side.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Beck's thinking.
I'm considering.
You have two angles.
Can you
2.5.
put the thinking
2.5.
music from letters and numbers underneath me
Yes.
considering what you just said?
I really love the aesthetic, like that kind of corrugated cardboard that I
Yeah.
haven't seen since primary school, and
Yeah, it reminded me of primary school.
it looks like an 8-year-old's imagination has run wild, and they've just created like a tabletop kind of world with unlimited access to art supplies, and then Yoshi's come to life within it.
That's a very talented child. I don't know if you've ever seen arts and crafts that children do.
Oh yes, good point. I did say very
A lot of
talented.
glue, a
part.
lot of pasta, glitter, glitter, not in any like sort of pattern, just
Not
everywhere.
contained.
No.
Yeah.
I feel like the only part for me that comes out of it a little bit is the gems, which are the things that
yeah.
you sort of.
Oh,
Tracking
does
down.
Yoshi become Thanos?
I fucking hope so.
It'd be really if they just melted away. You just bits of wool flying everywhere. That'd be nice.
After he clicks his fingers and
That'd
half
be
the
nice.
nice. disappear.
That would be
nice.
such a cute way for half of them to die. You'd be like, bye! Bye, Pink Yoshi!
And that's where all the glitter could come out of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the Avengers all
organs.
went up in a puff of craft supplies, I feel like everyone would have been less sad in that last movie.
Yeah, they were like,
It's like a colour run.
did I get glitter bombed?
One thing, there are costumes that you get, and it's like a little gachapon thing, and you can get different costumes that you put on, they do different things. But I typed into Google, I was like, I wonder if I can find the costume, like just a list of all of them, and I found this guy. And
Hell yeah.
I don't know how I feel about him.
Oh, you know what? I've worn that exact costume.
Really?
Where?
Yeah, I dressed as Yoshi once in my first year of uni, and it was the first time I ever got blackout drunk. And I passed out in a Macca's toilet.
Oh my God.
And I didn't remember any of it, right? I sort of remembered leaving like the main event. It was like an engineering ball, but then apparently we tried to go to the after party. I really needed to pee, and I just tried to crawl past the bouncer, and then he was like, stop, and I apparently went, it's fine. But he didn't let me in. So then we went to Macca's, and then we went to, and I passed out in the toilet for half an hour apparently. And I just woke up the next day, and I was like, how did I get home? And then I went to the kitchen, the shared kitchenette, and there was the Yoshi costume just soaking in the sink. Someone put it in there for me. And then I took it back to the costume rental place, and I said, I spilled some wine on it, and I just put it in the sink straight away. And she was like, that's so nice. People just usually leave it. And I was like, yeah, I'm so smart. I'm so diligent.
let you
I
get away
forgot
with
I did that. Huh?
They let
Well,
you get
I
away with
didn't. Well, yeah, they didn't know that I vomited on it. All over it, man. All over the whole thing.
Do you have any photos?
Rank.
Not of that. I mean, of you in the.
Of your
I think
vomits?
I do. I think
We'll have to look at the rundown.
one of my old profile pictures is me in it.
That's
Well-
so exciting. I feel
With
like
a friend.
Yoshi is the perfect drunk outfit anyway, because he sort of goes like this. He's like, hello everyone, I'm here I come. Like he's got a bit of lilt to him, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Like you
Got a
could
bit
be
of
in
drunken
character.
swagger.
Yeah, he's like,
Absolutely.
hey everyone, I'm here for a party.
I think I think Naomi's story should make the brunt of the next sequel to this game.
Yeah.
Yoshi's Wasted World.
Right.
Just Naomi in a costume, just doing weird things while
Gotta
drunk. You
try.
have to crawl past the bouncer.
Gotta try and get on the party bus.
There I am. I look very cool. You want to get a shot of that?
You look
You get
exactly
that
the same.
pat?
Do I?
Let's zoom in.
Thank you so much.
Oh my
We
God.
can- I'll get that
18-year-old
from you and
Baba
I'll put it up.
Naomi.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, this game's good. That's the end.
The game's
Worth getting.
cute and fun.
And
Yeah.
nice. And also,
Even the developer is called Good Feel.
Yeah, definitely.
and a nice man at Big W was like, he was like this old man who was from, like he would belong, like you could come upon him in a cave, right? And it would make sense. He was like, hello, welcome to Big W. And he was behind that weird counter at the back at the electronics section that no one goes to anymore for some reason. And it's sad. But he was like, hello. I think he maybe was the photos guy. But then he was just like, you want the game? Yes. And then he was like, and he found it and he was like, is it cheaper anywhere else? I'm like, Big W boy, you're so nice. And then he let me Google it. And I was like, it's cheaper at JB Hi-Fi. He's like, well, let's do that for you.
Oh,
That's
why
nice.
was
Anyway,
he speaking like
how-
a Machiavellian villain?
I don't know. He had a big beard.
He
and
sounds very pale.
But he was so.
Peak white.
I think he seemed like the sort of guy I was like, you are like a second from leaving here because you're filled with joy. You know when someone's so happy, it's like, you can't work here. He's like, hello everybody, welcome.
He sounds.
Have a good day.
I would be scared to be alone in a room with him. Something's up there.
But he was really, I just want to say, shout out to Big W.
So get out there, play this game, and investigate a child's world made of cardboard, paint, and other craft supplies, including glitter. And then just egg the background. What a little asshole he is.
Yeah.
Just egg the thing that the kid made. Egging everything.
The
Senator Fraser Anning.
The latest game from software development team From Software takes us to Sengoku, Japan, in the late 1500s, where a one-armed shinobi is on a quest to regain his honor. Let's take a look at the trailer.
Your hunger may beget a fine shinobi. I expected no less from you, my boy. Sir, listen, Wolf. You must never forget the Iron Code.
I see
Defend your master with your life. If he is taken, bring him back at any cost.
So that was a quick look at the trailer for Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
Oh my God.
Wow.
What?
Here's the thing. So last week I complained. I said, Evan, you always give all the codes to Ben, and you never give me any review codes.
Yeah.
And then you're like, do you want this one? I said, no. And then I was like, do you want it? And you were like, no. And then I was like, does anyone want this? And Ben's like, I'll have it. And I was like, fuck off, Ben. So then I took it anyway.
Just to spite
And
them.
I hate it.
Oh no.
Nah, it was all right. I started playing this at 1 a.m. last night.
Oh yeah.
Because I forgot about it. So I played it for like an hour. Mark helped me a little bit because I didn't understand things. I didn't get very far through it. There was a real sense of accomplishment from getting through the tutorial,
Yeah.
which took us a lot of tries. The tutorial. There was still more stuff to teach after the tutorial finished about how to fight. But we made it through the tutorial
Yeah.
and then had to go to bed.
It's a difficult game.
That Mug kept telling he's like, you're supposed to die. You're supposed to die a lot. And I was like, what's the point? It reminds me of playing sport in school because I am a tiny baby. And I never understood why people liked sport because to me it was just getting trampled on constantly and never succeeding. And that's what this game feels like for me.
I thought you were just going to say during dodgeball in sport, you just kept dying and getting back up again.
No.
Which is also cool.
Well, I should have done that. But in dodgeball, I would always go hide right at the back of the court on the side, and then everyone else on my team would go out, and then it would just be me against like 3 very tall guys on the other side, and then I'd have to like walk up with my ball, and then they'd all fucking piff it, and that was like the way that boys demonstrated their masculinity in Year 9.
And now,
And
I feel
I
like
hated
not
it.
much has changed.
No.
Like, that's still very representative. But I used to do that too. I always thought it was a good power move, but it never worked out well. Like, if you win in dodgeball, you are going to, but it's only you and your team doesn't. You're going to lose.
You got to face the music at some point. And this game just felt like facing the music non-stop.
So,
Dave?
Dave, what's to stop you from just throwing your controller at the screen with this game?
Yeah, Naomi's completely right. I mean, she got a sense of achievement just from, getting through the tutorial, and that's the sign, I think, of a really challenging game. If you go, yeah I'm pretty good. I just done the tutorial. I remember because I quite like From Software's, it's called Soulsborne series, because they had the Souls games and then they had the Bloodborne game. And they're just notoriously super hard. It's like for gamers that have acquired a certain taste, the way people just suddenly start eating slightly spicy food and then they have to have all of the vindaloo with all of the chili flakes because it's just not, anything else isn't kind of spicy enough for them. So it's a real kind of an extreme taste series initially that was a cult hit called Demon Souls. And then the other Dark Souls games became, through reputation and word of mouth, bigger and bigger event pieces when they came out. The first one I played, not knowing anything about it, I just heard kind of whispers that, this is a great game. You couldn't get it domestically. It was an import, Demon Souls, yeah. And I played it, and we now know.
Was that allowed in the country? Did the post office go, excuse me, I think you're
It's too hard.
No.
And the menus, I couldn't really read the menus, and because they were in Japanese.
Right.
But I was kind of pushing through, and then I kept dying all the time, and I didn't have a mark at the time to say this is what happens. You die, and you're supposed to because it's part of the growth of your character. But I just gave up. I just went, this game is stupid. Like, I can't get anywhere. It's dumb. And then traded it in straight away, and then subsequently found out that's the whole thing. And to be honest, I don't think those Souls games would have been very good if they were easy. Like, if you just breezed through, carving through people, I don't think they'd be that good, really. It's the combat that makes it good and the sense of achievement and just how challenging it is. Because you go back through the same bit over and over again, and you begin to kind of take note of how it's designed. Like, there's really good kind of choke points and like ambush spots, and it's actually really well thought out. And you only pick that up because it's so hard, and you really have to think tactically and strategically to get through it.
I like to button mash, and you can't do that in this game.
No.
I was like, why do I keep dying? I've never blocked in a game ever in my life. Never block or dodge. I just go and just take the damage.
And most games, that's fine.
Yeah.
Most
Right.
games, you can go bap, bap, bap.
To a degree.
Evan was watching me play, and he's like, you got to block. I'm like, I'm just going to jump and hit. I just started doing this.
It works to begin with, but
yeah.
pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But also, there's a good other game hidden in this game that I found, which is just swinging on rooftops.
Oh, yeah.
Just me going, "Vroom,
Yeah, you just
vroom,"
avoid everyone.
and just being like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, running along the rooftop.
So he's
going,
got like a
"Woo!"
grappling
Yeah.
hook instead of an arm. He's got like a prosthetic
Yeah,
arm, right?
that's
Felt like
right.
Spider-Man.
Can you not lose? This is a very minor spoiler because it happens in the first few minutes. Is it possible to not lose your arm?
Yes. Oh,
really?
But no.
No, okay.
Yes and no, because you can win that fight.
You can.
Yeah, because
Far out.
So I was playing that. And I could tell immediately, this is one of their things, it's supposed to be this fight, who's gonna win? And then, oh no, your arm gets chopped off. But for me, it was just, And it was such an emotional moment, and I was like, I feel like I was supposed to have done a little bit better there. So there was maybe a bit of a who's gonna win? But it was just I just went up and went, do you want this arm? And he went, woo!
I need this cut off for the game to work. Please, could you help me out? Yeah. So you're like, I know I was supposed to lose, but I could have put up a little bit of a fight, maybe.
I tried to fight.
Could've.
I saw his sword coming and I was like, should I block it? No. Two-way stab. It didn't work.
See, I tried to block, like I was like, okay, maybe I actually will try to block instead of just hitting, and I was just like, ha, 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 no arm. Like that was it.
How did you go again?
Like there was no like, I didn't even try to hit him. I was just like, which feels like a very, like if I was fighting someone and their whole reaction was just like, pretty shit.
Yeah.
Same with the first few dudes you kill. I'm like, this is unfair. Like you're just watching their neck go. I'm like, you probably will. Like you could have been an accountant. You didn't need to do this.
Were there many accountants?
You have to work out
In the 1500s.
the numbers to buy a sword.
That's true.
Like you go like,
You just count some coins.
yeah, you go like, I have 5 coins, but you could take them to the accountant and they go, that's 5.
I gotta do your taxes.
You just go, how many? They're like, 5. You're like, thank you.
You'll know if someone like swings a giant abacus at you.
I like the feeling of my sword going into someone's neck and just ripping it
Right.
out. I thought that was fun.
That's a very Evan thing to say.
At the end,
Said it wasn't a dog.
the menu at the start, one of the things you can choose, and it puts it right in front of you. It's like blood, and you can do on, off, or mild. I thought it was nice.
Yeah.
I'll have spicy blood. The thing is, like, it's so over-the-top violent anyway. I mean,
Yeah.
surely the blood is a very small part of that, because you're still jamming swords under people's chins through the top of their head.
Yeah.
The blood isn't the offensive part, really.
I just like, it was like, welcome to the game, and then a guy got hit in the head with an arrow. I was like, hello! Like, it was like, first scene, it's just like, bang! I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
here we are, all right.
Oh, bloody
Shit.
Nora.
Dude, typical Souls thing. You start the game with like this much energy. You would have noticed.
Yeah, fucking hell.
I was
Jesus
creeping through
Christ.
the tutorial level, and I saw my energy, and I went, when did that happen? Did I stand on some spiky things I didn't know about, or like get stung by an insect? And then I went, oh, stuff this. I'm not starting the game with that much energy. I'm going to start it again, which I did, and then eventually creep past, and you get a gourd
Yes.
as pictured. Here's one I prepared earlier.
Where'd you get your gourd?
I got it from a Chinese website called Wish.
Oh, I love Wish, wish.com.
Wish it looked like the frickin' photo. Is what it should be called.com. I bought a ninja
Does it
gi
have
on
a
there.
yin yang?
Oh yeah.
Is that on the? I don't think that's on the gourd.
Not on the one in the game. No, it's not an official Sekiro one. It's just one I saw, and I was like,
You
I
need
really
a
like
gourd.
gourds. I'm
Make
gonna,
your own gourd, man.
out of a butternut pumpkin.
Dave, I
Yeah.
feel like we are the yin and yang of buying weird stuff. Of you've got
Oh,
a gourd
yeah.
and I've got all these Yoshis.
Yeah, we can never
It's
be
like-
housemates ever.
Light and dark. I love that. I love that.
You got the Yoshi stuff, and I've got the ninja stuff. Definitely.
I would kill myself if I lived
You'd have lots of things to get yourself with, thanks to Dave.
What's your favourite
Yeah.
Oh
possession?
yeah, true.
My favorite possession?
Yeah.
Let me think. Favorite possession? I don't know if I. What's your favorite possession?
I have a action figure of a Bucky O'Hare character called Jenny.
That's so
Do you
specific.
need more?
Your eyes say sorry.
It's because they never made them when I was a kid, and then someone bought the rights to them and finally made it. And I always wanted it as a kid, and then I bought it recently, and I was very excited. It was the second wave of figures. Fuck, I'm boring myself.
You know what? I think I
Wow.
know what my favorite possession is because I don't really care about possessions very much. But I have this. My stepfather passed away, but he gave me. He used to go skydiving, and him and his friend were called T1 and T2 because they had red jumpsuits, and they were like, "What's red and hangs from a string?" And tampons. And so he had like a box where he would keep his like. There's this thing that you put in your helmet, and it tells you. Oh, it's like a watch, and it tells you like how close you're getting to the ground, so you know when to pull your chute. And anyway, he gave me the box that he used to keep that in, and I just keep tampons in it.
That's awesome.
Great.
People, it's important to find somewhere to keep your tampons.
Yeah. A box that has a bunch of tampon shit written on it. Passed down by my late father. My tampon box. What's your favourite possession?
Yeah, I'm going to go now.
Also, my late stepfather's tampon.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's not the most original thing, but that's why it's good.
This is not my kind of game.
Hold on a sec. What is your favourite possession? I'm so sorry to keep this going.
Say Bec.
Bec.
You don't own me!
Probably my
Yes,
computer.
queen.
Your computer?
Maybe.
Which computer? You have so many.
No, just my main
Narrow
desktop
it
at
down.
home.
Okay.
My game.
That is so nerdy, and then I just realized what this show is, so that's fine. I have a I went to Japan to the Ninja Dojo there, and I got the Grandmaster. He's 87, and he's an artist as well as like a fine arts artist, and he does Japanese scrolls. And so if you bring him up a scroll during the break, he'll paint a scroll for you, and he'll go, "What do you want?" And you can tell him what you want him to do a painting of. And usually it's polite to go whatever you feel like, and he'll just do something. And sometimes he'll write kanji, like characters, Japanese characters. Other times he'll do, a painting of something, like a...
Caricature.
He did a caricature. How did you know? That's amazing.
Did he really?
I just thought what would be a bit funny and fucked is a caricature.
Yeah, he totally did a caricature of me, which is really unusual, because usually he'll paint something like, the kind of the wolf that looks at the sun. What's that Japanese legend?
Yeah.
Is that T-shirt?
No, not the moon.
Not the moon wolf? Okay.
I know the thing you mean.
Yeah.
You didn't draw a
Okami.
meme on the... I'm drawing all this.
Well, he's drawing
drawn
a
the-
fucking caricature. The sky's the limit with this guy, apparently.
Yes.
What did he exaggerate about you?
He exaggerated my beard. Made it all,
cool.
and then he wrote Lionheart underneath. That was quite lovely. But that was Richard I who invaded Ireland, so it was a bit bittersweet for me.
This is not my kind of game. This is the kind of game that I would avoid and didn't play.
Yeah, you didn't even want the review code.
No, I got to the bit where
Is it because it's difficult, or are you ninjaist?
I was put off by
I think it's just called racist.
What have you got against my people?
I was put off by the very start. We have to scroll right to the bottom to accept the terms and conditions.
Yeah, that was weird. I was like,
Really?
are they taking
Brutal.
our souls?
That was the really difficult part of the game.
It was like, what game has a contract at all, let alone that long? That was peculiar.
but
And then force you like as if you're going to read it.
now I'm kind of suspicious because what was in that? We all
Right.
just scrolled,
Yeah.
and it was important enough that they made us look at it.
But you're not going to be looking at it at 1:30 a.m. right now.
Yeah.
No.
You're going to be like, no, I'm actually busy.
Some woman recently read the terms and conditions of something, and it said, if you're the first one to contact us, thank you for reading the terms and conditions, and you can have 10 grand or something.
Yeah.
And then she called them, and they were like, yep.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, it was in
Yeah.
the US.
That's a real life Charlie in the Chocolate Factory.
Now I
But more diligent.
Yeah, more time economic.
One thing I want to flag, did you play this game at all?
No.
You didn't see the part where you can kill the wolves, and you were like, give me a go. Because I
No, I
thought of
didn't see
you.
that.
I thought of you
You
when,
can kill wolves?
yeah.
Why is it?
And I thought Evan will love this because he loves to kill dogs.
Is that sarcastic, or do you actually love killing
Genuinely
dogs?
loves killing dogs.
What?
In
No.
video games.
Why?
Come on.
That's.
I think it's
not
more
good.
like he doesn't understand that it's bad to kill dogs. Like
Yeah.
it's like me and you with
Well,
the
in
chicken.
so many games, you have to.
Did you want to get Tazo away from him?
I am terrified, but Tazo can sense it, I think.
Yeah.
Because before Evan was like, hi Tazo, and he was like, shit. Ran away.
I don't care how much food you have.
He's seen me.
Dave. Oh, yes.
Just saying, just thought of you because you kill dogs. Dave,
Yeah.
Dog killer.
I was going to ask about the combat in this game.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
I haven't played it myself, but what's the mechanics like?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't want to bog you down with too much detail, but what it really excites me is that in Dark Souls there was heaps of weapons you could have, like, sword. You could have like a big spear. And you know what weapons are. Yeah. And then in this one, because you be a ninja or shinobi, which is the cool word. Did you know shinobi means heart over sword? So you nurture your heart and be a good person first over combat.
That's beautiful.
That's what a shinobi means. It's
Still
also
stabbing your sword into a lot of people's throats here.
yeah, but you've got a good heart.
But it's over their hearts.
You're not
You're going
killing-
in their neck.
Yeah.
Except
How is he justifying killing all these people?
because they're all bad.
kill him.
It's the Sengoku period or the Warring States period, and they were going to kill him. Exactly what Naomi said. Yeah. So
these are the enemy
And he
clan
has a good
so it's
heart.
fine.
So that means
Yeah.
they have bad hearts just by logic, and therefore
okay.
they must all get a sword through their throat to their head.
yeah. But what's interesting is he gets his arm chopped off, as we've spoken about. He used the katana one-handed, which is not what's done. It's a two-handed type of deal. But he has another arm, which is a shinobi prosthetic, it's called, and it can fire things. Like you can fire shurikens, which is a ninja throwing star. They usually use their hands, but this one you can actually go and it comes out. And then you can get a fire upgrade that fires fire at everybody's face, and that's bad for them
Lord.
sometimes. And
I would hate that.
it's bad. Red-eyed enemies, they cop fire damage, and that's how you defeat them, because otherwise they're impossible. So you gotta, like a typical Souls game, it doesn't tell you much. You gotta kind of figure this out by wandering about and stuff.
See, again, I don't like combat. I just like to button mash. So what I didn't like, but what I'm sure is very rewarding for people who enjoy video games, is that when you're fighting, you have to block and dodge different attacks, like different swings of the sword in different ways. So you can't just like every time you see a sword coming, just press block, because if it's a sweeping one, you have to jump, and like if it's another one, you have to.
That's true. You're right. You're totally right. It's a bit stone paper
You have to
scissors
think.
stuff. You have to think. Yeah.
I'm sure it becomes second nature after a while.
But it's kind of, someone described it to me like this. It's kind of like a rhythm game.
Yeah.
So the parrying anyway. So when they come in for a hit, and you get the timing right, just as they strike, you parry it. They're open, and you can see that red dot on them, and you can do a special stabby stab.
It's like Just Dance.
I feel like Patrick, who's on camera, has played a lot of this game. And I just feel like he should say something, but also I feel like it needs its own. Can you sit down here, Pat?
How do we mic Pat up?
I'll just take my microphone
I
off.
thought you were gonna give him like a little chair or something.
Maybe. Hold on. Let me see. I reckon it means. Wait. Oh, I know.
So with a gourd, this is such
It's gone now.
such a casual show, just one panel in front. That doesn't happen on 8 out of 10 cats.
Oh,
I love
Look
this.
at
The
this.
sound effect is great.
Yeah.
We need the boom mic.
All right.
Patrick, quick.
Pat!
Patrick.
All right, Pat, g'day. Now, I'm an actual ninja. Just need to tell you legally in advance.
You're blocking both my cameras.
Therefore, this game is kind of rather mundane. It's just my day-to-day existence. So I like games with a bit of escapism. This, however, is what I do every day as a ninja anyway. So what did you think?
I love it. I'm 27 hours in,
Oh, wow.
and I've killed 2 bosses.
2 bosses. Is one of them Lady Butterfly?
Yes.
I like Lady Butterfly.
Are you serious? 27 hours and you've killed 2 bosses and one of them's called Lady Butterfly. Like, they really just gotta fucking punch her in the face with it, don't they?
How many bosses are
Who
there?
could be more fragile than a fucking butterfly? You kill him by accident, man.
This is like a cross between Lady Snowblood and Madame Butterfly from the Italian opera. It's also rather fragile.
Oh, the time.
The game's good.
Great work, Patrick.
How many bosses are there?
I reckon there's about 10 or 12. That's
10 or 12.
from the skirting through playthrough information
Lord.
I've seen. They are pretty brutal, and there's sub bosses as well. Like you probably got to one. There's one pretty early on. He's like a samurai guy, and he needs 2 death blows to kill.
That's the first one with 2 death blows.
Yeah. He's
Yeah, fuck yeah.
he's considered a sub boss.
Is he?
Yeah.
So I've
yeah.
already got a sub boss.
Yeah.
Wait, Mark did that.
And then you've got a boss, the boss who's the guy who chops your arm off, but Is he a boss if you're supposed to die by his hand?
No.
Probably not.
He's just
Debatable.
a cutscene in disguise.
Right.
And a literal
Absolutely.
cutscene.
Oh, you.
Rebecca, stop.
But also, do you know what I love about this game?
What?
That any wall you walk up to, it's like, do you want to hug the wall?
Oh.
You hit X and you're like,
Stop hugging the
that's
wall.
where I am.
Yeah.
Feel safe there.
Do you want to hug this thing? Yes. Like, I think that should be in every game. You should just have the option to hug random things.
It seems to
swear
me like if this is your sort of game, then it's pretty good value for money.
Yeah, it's superb.
Oh, Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
It
Been
is.
playing it forever.
Yeah, because you'll never stop playing it.
I
feel
kind of want to keep playing it a little bit, which is
well,
surprising.
Lovely.
There you go.
But I do every 5 minutes. I just have to throw the controller down and just pout.
Yeah, I do that too.
It's $79. Dave, how much did you pay for the special? What did you get? A special edition of some sort?
It was $150. You get a statue. You get
It
3.
smells weird in there.
Yeah, I might have to rinse it out.
What did you put in here?
Urine.
Because it smells like cum.
I did not come in the gourd. I'm not.
Promise? Dave, promise?
I was googling apex porn.
Smell that. Tell me that doesn't smell like
I'm
cum.
gonna.
Oh, wow.
Does it really? Oh, I'll be so mad.
Oh, my God.
It came in my gourd at the Wish factory in China. I'll be like, oh, I hate white people. Ugh.
I thought you would
Oh,
joking this.
hell? Who came in my gourd? Which one of you?
Guys, who came in the gourd?
Someone with the
Don't.
tiniest, even
I
two
assume,
options for coming in that gourd. And
I
then
assume there's a
both men.
funnel involved.
Oh,
Don't do that.
no.
I can't handle how much that smelled.
Scratch and
We,
sniff semen.
We need to wrap up the show.
Hey!
I just want you to know that I'm really excited about this game. I'm going to come
Yeah?
back to it time and again, and the attention to detail is great.
Very pretty.
Very beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like an Akira Kurosawa film, late period, like Ran or Kagemusha. And
I agree.
I think you'll find. And they also have like this amazing attention to detail. Like when he first meets that sub boss, the one that's the cutscene boss. Like you'll notice that he gets his katana and he does this with his thumb. He just goes tsh on the the round part of the suba. It's called, and that's the equivalent in Wild West movies of them like flicking the safety off their kind of gun and getting ready. That's a really offensive thing in Japan. If you go tsh like that, they're saying get ready, it's on.
Wow.
And then he turns his scabbard sideways because the blade katana's sharp on one side. So when you draw it, it's a draw cut, and so that's another. I'm coming for you, buddy. So that attention to detail was magnificent. Plus, you'll notice at the end, that same boss, he holds his sword like this, and then he goes whoosh, down like that. And you're like, what is that for? Because it looks cool. You think it might be a stylistic thing, but I've seen my sensei do that in the dojo when we do sword stuff. And I asked him, I said to him, because I've seen it in other games, and I said, what is that thing you do? And he goes, oh, it's just to get the blood off, really casually. I was like, oh, this is connected to actual feudal Japan. Like, this is an actual lineage, because they actually still do that, even though it's modern times and you don't really sword fight.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
See, I would have
That's what
thought
it
that was just like, I'm doing Zorro.
Yeah, right.
Choo, choo, choo.
So I'm really impressed with that level of detail. It just makes it feel really real.
Yeah,
Well
that
done,
feels good.
Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
Yeah.
A good money for your good time for your money. Evan?
We have to wrap up the show. But before we go, we have a Patreon question. Adam Giambattista asks, what game did you never beat that you will eventually... What? What game did you never beat that you still vow to eventually get to?
Oh, yeah.
Breath of the Wild.
Oh,
I
yeah.
still haven't done that fucking camel boss.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah.
That's a
It's
fun one.
annoying and fun.
I don't know. I
It
just
is
got to a
annoying as
point
well,
where
yeah.
nothing I did was doing
Oh,
any
yeah.
damage.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? And yeah, I think I've talked about it before. Mark offered to beat it for me, and I was like, fuck you! And I just put it down for 2 years.
Dave, are there any games that you have eluded you thus far that you're going to come back to and beat?
I was going to say Metal Gear Solid 5. I really liked that game and I never finished it, but I've been told that there's no proper ending because Hideo Kojima quit
Right.
or was pushed out halfway through the process. So I think that's a half-finished game anyway, so it's okay to half-finish it.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But all of the Dark Souls I'd like to finish eventually for that sense of completion. I've finished none of them. I get to the halfway point and you hit a point where it's like, if I go this way, it's poisonous area and I don't have any anti-poison armor. But if I go the other way, it's all foggy and there's crazy shit jumping out of the fog at me and it's giving me the spooks late at night, so I don't want to go there either. So I just stopped playing. But
fair
Far
enough.
Cry 5 to answer the
Yeah.
question.
Okay. Far Cry 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to finish that. I'm not far from the end.
Evan, what for you? You go first.
I was thinking maybe Max Payne 3. I enjoyed it, but I remember I got to a bit that just for some reason I just could not get past. I didn't even get that far into it, and I really like the Max Payne games, and I would like to one day come back, and I should go back and
Can you eat this
get
one
past.
snake?
Definitely not.
Tazo? No, Evan!
Evan, what are you doing?
Do dogs not eat snakes?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh my god!
Wow.
I said, could you eat the snake?
I'm not gonna eat the snake. Why?
So the Tazo, okay.
I know you like to kill dogs in games, but can you please not kill my actual real dog in real life?
I didn't think you were serious, but he does want to kill dogs.
I don't want to kill him.
We just
You
saw-
you're insane.
We've got visual proof.
What don't dogs? There's no artificial colours. There's no artificial flavors.
It'd probably be fine, but also you don't just know.
You don't like grapes kill dogs. Yeah, they can't eat grapes. Like it's just a bunch of random shit.
Onions bad.
Yeah.
What about
He was trying to be kind. That's actually the thing. In Evan's brain, he was like, nice thing.
What
Dog, you want chocolate?
I know chocolate is.
what,
All right.
what about some poison puffer fish?
Starship Titanic. It is a game from the very
Oh.
past. It's by Douglas Adams. It's this game I used to play with my family, and we could not get past any of it, and it was baffling, and I didn't understand it, but it was funny. There was lots of jokes in it, but it scared me intensely because there was a bomb in it, I think, and it was ticking down. And it had John Cleese's voice. Did that have John Cleese's voice, Pat?
Yeah,
The bomb was voiced by John Cleese. It's like, well, here we go. It's gonna go.
that's
All
fantastic.
right, you're gonna die. It's just this thing in the back of my mind that I never finished.
Yeah.
We have to thank our top patrons.
Oh, was that a good enough answer?
Yes.
Okay.
We big thanks to Jim Hughes, Dean Madden, Kylie Jones, Zach Steinbacher, Angus Bowen, Epson Brockvam, Espen. I keep saying Epson. I don't know why I keep saying Espen.
Evan!
That's a really tongue-twisted
Espen.
name.
Yeah.
Espen.
I blame
Brockram.
Espen.
Say it 5 times really quick, real quick now.
Espen Brockvam, Espen Brockvam, Espen Brockvam, Espen Brockvam.
Now you
Yeah.
gotta
They
pay
owe us a lot of money.
$100.
0 out of 5.
Scott Chapman, Shemo Thridratney, Christian Ford, Christian Sanchez, Josh Apter, Paul Barbie, Jake Robertson, Alex Chum, Ben Lovett, Christian Sanchez, number 2, Adam Giambattista, Chris Sheeky, Lachlan Chapman, Rupert the Dog, Drew Peisner, Drew Schuller, Grace Jarvis, and Jack Mafati. If you want to hear your name read out of the show, you can jump on the $20 Patreon tier at patreon.com/gamergame or gamergame.com/Patreon. Or you can send Naomi $15 on PayPal and she'll read it out. No one seems to have taken her up on
Like
that offer
Shake
yet.
and Not Nerd Pod.
What?
Thanks, Shake and Not Nerd
Did they
Pod.
actually?
Is this really happening?
Shout out to Shake and Not Nerd Pod. Give it a listen. Ben and Evan have both been on the podcast, I
We
believe.
have, yes. Did they give you money to get PayPal?
$15. Pretty cheap.
It's
Go
not.
listen to that podcast.
Look, the name is running a side business there.
Oh, the goof is real now.
however-
We've gone inside it. and
However,
it's-
you don't get a mug if you
That's true.
go to
I don't know, Naomi. I
Patreon, you get a mug.
can tell you where the box of mugs is.
We're running out. We need to order more mugs.
It's
If you enjoy the show, subscribe to the channel and tell all your friends about it and share it around and all the rest of it. And you can podcast the show as well if you just search for it in your podcast app, like Pocket Cast or iTunes or Spotify or those sorts of places as well.
A note. I think we should say we're not on next week.
We're not going to. We're no show next week.
Bless
you.
you.
Bless you.
That was a huge build-up.
Ow.
We can't do a
Tell us
show
about
next
that
week
one.
because it's a comedy festival. We're not going to be able to do a show next week. But I think we'll do a podcast episode instead. If you,
You mean I can play games that I want to play?
yeah, instead. Oh my God.
And I wanted to play
Oh, Yoshi.
He doesn't
Oh,
want
what?
it though. He's just sort of
He's
like.
getting eaten by.
He'll just take any suggestion I give him of what to put in his mouth.
Very obedient.
That is so mean. Poop him out as an egg. Just give him a taste of his own medicine.
That's it, guys.
Have this.
That's it,
weird.
guys.
We'll be on a podcast next week. Bye.
Great. Bye.